Hello everyone, welcome to Skills Will Training YouTube channel. Myself Mohammad Zubair and this channel is all about showing you how to become a highly paid IT pro really fast. So the topic of today's video is Deepin Linux 20.3 review and first thoughts. Is it a macOS Big Sur replacement? So without any further ado, let's get started. Deepin Linux is one of the most advanced Linux distributions in user interface, icons, and theme, and it is a Chinese-based Linux distribution. It is one of those Linux distribution that is considered as the professional one. So I will start my review with the default applications. To do so, you just need to click on this menu button that says Launcher. Here we have all the applications that come pre-installed in Deepin Linux 20.3. Deepin Linux comes with many default applications. In fact, we get more default applications than any other Linux distributions out there. We have LibreOffice as the default office productivity software suite. We have an archive manager to archive and zip files, and to install packages we have a separate application that says package installer. And here we have the print manager. For audio and video files, we have two different applications as we have music and movies. We also have some of the utilities like we have calculator, calendar, we have fonts, system monitor, system scan, etc. Surprisingly, we have two image application. First one is image viewer and the second one is album. The very interesting thing in Deepin Linux 20.3 is if you click on this button, here we have all the categories of all of the applications that are available by default in Deepin Linux. Here we have everything related to music, then we have our videos, and for screenshot, this is the application that says screen capture. That's a really good one. I will talk about this one in detail. Then we have all those applications related to your images and your pictures and so on. So that was all about the default application, and now let's explore the rest of the system. This time let's go to the settings of our Deepin Linux. So this is the gear for setting. I will just click on it. They have named it as Control Center. We have all the categories in the grid view, but if you click on any one of these, it will convert whole view just like the one that comes as default in most Linux distributions. I'll go with the notification. Here you can see on the left side we have all the categories in a list, and on the right section we have all the details about each and everything. Let's say if I go with display, here I have everything related to display. Same goes for sound, date and time, power, mouse, and the rest of the things. I will go to the display section, and here I need to talk to you about one very important thing, and that is display scaling. We do not get this option in many other Linux distribution, and some people face issues in terms of display scaling. When they go with the highest scaling, the screen's pixels and icons start to distort. But if you go back with the default scaling option, everything works fine. I only have this option that goes up to 1.25. Other than that, we have one more feature that says color temperature, and in some of other Linux distribution it is known as night light. Well, if you enable it, from here you can change the color temperature. But there is one problem, I would say that, and that is we cannot have the manual time for this feature. In other Linux distribution where we have a night light feature, we could set the timeline in which we want to use that particular feature on its own. But here we do not have this option. We have to enable this one on our own. So this is one of the drawbacks that you can think of. Now I will talk about the taskbar. In the left corner of the taskbar, we have the start menu button, and some of the applications are in the center. We can also change the taskbar mode, and to do so, right click on it, and from here go to your mode, and here we have two modes, fashion mode and efficient one. Let's try the efficient mode, and now everything just got shifted towards the left side and towards the right side. But I'll go back with the default mode, and that is fashion mode. On the right side, we have some of the utilities that we can access. For example, we can access the calendar by clicking on time, and from here we can change the theme of our calendar. So I will go to that option, and here we have different themes. First one is light one, second one is dark one, and the last one is system theme. Then we have the notification center, and here it is. So if you just click on it, it will show you all the notification that you will have into your system. And here we have all those notifications. After that, we have a trash can that is appearing here. Well, that's a really surprising thing, because in almost every Linux distribution, we have this one as an icon onto our desktop. Then we have our virtual keyboard here as well. So just click on it and it will open a virtual keyboard on board. And to close your keyboard, again click on this option and your keyboard will disappear. Here we have an arrow button. If you just click on it, it will wrap up everything. Here it is. So that was all about the taskbar, and now let's move on and let's explore the App Store. Here we have the App Store. I will just open it. On the left side, we have 5 sections. In the first one, we will have all the applications that are somehow trending and used by many people in this system. Like we have GIMP, Chrome, Sublime Text, Telegram, Firefox, etc. In the second category that says Essential Apps, we will have all those applications that we should have. For example, people prefer to go with VLC Media Player, so we have it here. The third category is the perfect one. Here we get all the applications, and along with that, we also have the categories of apps on the top section. Here you can see we have Office, Education, Development, Multimedia Editing, then we have Games. So these are different categories. Click on any one of these, and after that you can download that particular application or software. Here we have different games that we can download and enjoy playing in our Deepin Linux. Then the fourth category is updates. Well, if there is any update that is needed to be done or installed into your system with respect to your applications and programs, they will appear here. And the last one is manage. We will leave it as it is. I'll go back to my hot apps, that is the first category. And now if I click on any one of these applications, here we have all the detail about this application, its rating, comment from the people, and different screenshots of the application to know what we are going to get in this one. So that was all about it. Let's explore the browser in our Deepin Linux, because that's a really interesting one. So this is our browser. I will just open it, and we have a very fascinating situation here, as this distribution is from China. Here if you search for anything, I will search for Deepin, and let's see what do we get. Here we have all the results in Chinese language. That must be a problem for a lot of Deepin Linux users. To get rid of this problem, we have a solution, and that is go to your settings section, and from here open your settings, and from here change your search engine. At the moment the default one is the first one, and we do not know what it is. You can go with the Google, Bing or Yahoo. I'll go with the Google, and now if I search for anything, that will appear in English. Now let's open the terminal and see the system resource usage information. So I will just search for the terminal in my Deepin. I will just write a simple command in here, and that is top, hit enter, and here we have all the information about different processes, users of those processes, and then we have the percentage of resource usages by each process. And on top we have the summary of some of the information, like at the moment 1419 megabytes of RAM is being used, and then we have some swappiness value. So we can say that Deepin Linux is one of those Linux distributions that require some of the resource from your hardware. It will not be an optimal choice to go with Deepin Linux on your older systems and your older laptops. So that was all about the resource usages. As this Linux distribution is based on Debian, we can download almost all the necessary applications, packages and libraries for our use. And as Debian has a vast community, the support is always there. If you get into any problem, you will get the solution immediately from the community. Now, We have a very interesting application in Deepin Linux 20.3, and that is screenshots. So I will just search for screen and let's see what do we get as a result. Here we have an application that says screen capture. This utility is a very cool one in this Linux distribution. We can take screenshots of different screen section. For example, if I hover over to Taskbar, it will take the screenshot of this taskbar only. If I hover it over the application, at the moment none is open, it will take the screenshot of the application only. And if you hover it over the desktop, it will take the screenshot of the whole desktop with whatever appearing on it. And we can save this screenshot in different formats. So I will just click on my desktop and here I have different options. At the moment we are going with screenshot. Here we have different options. Either we can save it as PNG or JPG, and at last we have BMP file extension option. We also have the option to record our screen. I will just click on record section, and now if I click on my options here, we can make a GIF out of our recorded video, or we can save this video as MP4 or MKV. I'll go back with the screenshot. And I want to talk to you about one very important thing, and that is go to your option, and here you have different directories where you can save your screenshots. The default one is the pictures. Now, in order to take your screenshot, just click on that button and your screenshot will be taken. So we are done with capturing our screen, and now our screenshot just got saved on its own. And here we have the notification. Now, let's move ahead and let's talk about the wallpapers. I will right click on my screen and here we have an option that says wallpaper and screensaver. Deepin Linux has put a lot of emphasis on this feature. We have a vast range of wallpapers. As you can see, we have a whole list of different wallpapers that we can choose and we can select. And we can also select to go with the slideshow. At the moment, I have opted for this option, and it means after every 30 seconds a new wallpaper will appear onto my screen. And other than that, we can also go for the screensaver, and if you go with that option, here you have different screensaver that you can choose from. I'll go back with my wallpaper, and here we have two options. First one is only desktop and only lock screen. So either you can set all of this setting for your desktop or for your lock screen. I'm going with my desktop, and here you have different time frame that you can select for your slideshow. So that was all about the wallpaper, and to get out of this, just click anywhere on your desktop. In the end, let's see what do we have in terms of the system. So I will use a utility called as NeoFetch. For that, I will have to open my terminal once again. Here I will write a command, and the command is NeoFetch. Hit enter. Here we have different information related to this Deepin Linux. This is the official logo of Deepin Linux. Then we have the operating system name, host, the kernel, it is using 5.10, and for shell it is using bash version 5.0.3. Then we have the theme, icon, CPU and GPU information, and down here we have the memory usage information from this Deepin Linux. So that was all about the system information, and we are done with the review. Now, question remains that is it a Mac OS Big Sur replacement? Well, some of the icons look like the Mac OS and the interface is somehow similar to the Mac OS Big Sur. But in terms of usability, it is just like any other Linux distribution. Installation of applications, packages are same, settings are the same, and usage of everything else is the same as any other Linux distribution. So to conclude this video, I would say that it is an excellent Linux distribution in terms of the interface, and it provides a vibe of Mac OS Big Sur. In terms of the usability, you might have to spend a day or two to understand it, and I'm sure after that you will be using it just like any other Linux distribution, and as it is based on Debian, you will not face any new difficulty while installing any packages or applications in the system. You can always use the apt-get command or apt-get command to get the job done. So we are done with this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. We will see you in the next one. Till then, take care.